Hi friends, it's Peggy Noe from PrettyPaperCards.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm here today to show you how to make a tri-fold fancy card. And this is the one. A similar card with the same fold has been one of my most popular cards on Pinterest. And I thought I would do a video tutorial to show you exactly how to make it. I wanted to tell you what we're going to use today is the Pretty Peacock ink and the Terracotta Tile ink by Stampin' Up. These are two of the 2019-2021 in colors, and in fact we're also using the designer series paper that you see here is woven threads, which also contains uses all five of those same in colors. And this designer series paper is retiring soon at the end of May, in fact on June 2nd I think, and I want to make sure if you like it that you have a chance to order it. And also we're going to use a retiring stamp set that's been my favorite for several years. I have so many favorites, but one of my favorites, Botanical Bliss. It is an adorable stamp set, and I want to show you what we can do with it today. All right, let's see how this card works. Now, it has a belly band, which slides off and on, and I'm going to show you how to make that. We're actually not going to use the flowers from the set today. I did this for my sample card. I did a little watercoloring. This is such a beautiful flower in this stamp set. But then, you know, I'm quite a flower girl, and I thought I would just take them off for the one we're going to make today and see if we can't make it a little bit less flowery, for an alternative. So the card opens like this. And so that's why it's called a tri-fold, because it has three different folds, 1, 2, and 3. Three different folds and panels of the designer series paper on the inside and one on the outside, which make it really fun. And I've done some stamping that I'm going to show you today. We're going to do that together with this Botanical Bliss stamp set. So let's get started. Now, your card base is a 12-inch by 5.5-inch Whisper White piece of Whisper White cardstock. So you do need 12-inch paper for this, whether you use Whisper White or any other color, but it has to be 12 inches by 5.5 inches. And I've already pre-scored it, and I scored it from the left at 4 1/4, 7 1/4, and 10 1/4. And I'm going to have these measurements down below the video for you. But to actually fold the card, we need to have the large size on the right. You will also need a 1-inch by 12-inch piece of Whisper White cardstock for the card base. All right, now let's start doing our folding here. I meant to bring a bone folder, but I think I can use my fingernails. So here is the 4 1/4 side or fold, and I'm going to just press it with my fingers. Then we have here what was the 7 1/4 fold, and this is the 10 1/4 fold. And so you just fold it like that, and that's the way it's going to open, just like that. Make sense? Okay, so the next thing we need to do is stamp a few of our cardstock pieces. Let's take a look back at our sample. We want to stamp this piece of cardstock. So I've already got the cardstock pieces cut, and I'm going to go ahead and let you see those sizes down below. And for this first one, we're going to stamp with the Pretty Peacock ink, and we're going to use this really pretty, what I call the vine stamp. I really like this. It's so pretty. And we're just going to stamp in the center of that one piece of cardstock. Okay, then the next piece, the next piece, I want to make sure I do the right thing. We have this piece of designer series paper, and we're going to stamp that same stamp on the left side. The one trick to this card is everything you put on each panel, you have to make sure it's covered by the fold when the fold closes. So this, we need to put our vine over on the left to make sure it's covered by the folded piece. Isn't that the prettiest stamp? I just love it. So that's all the stamping we have to do right now, and we can begin to do our gluing. So let's open it up, and I guess the first one is the folded over piece. And so that will flip over kind of to the back. And I'm going to put this one piece of cardstock in the cutting for this, the size of the little piece of, excuse me, I keep saying cardstock, designer series paper is 5 6/16 by 1 9/16. Basically, it's just 1/8 of an inch in on all sides. So I'm going to use my multi-purpose glue, and it just takes a little bit, and we're going to get that glued down here. So there's just a little bit of the cardstock, white cardstock border showing. Okay, now we can turn that inside, and on the inside we're going to put this piece of designer series paper that we've stamped. I love this side here. I love both sides, but the one thing I like about this side of the designer series paper is I think it looks kind of like flax. I don't know what you think, but I like it. And so I'm going to put this piece on this side, again leaving just like, it's really just 1/16 of an inch on each side of a border. Now our next piece that we place down, our next panel, is going to be this beautiful pretty peacock piece of designer series paper. This pretty peacock has been one of my favorite colors in the 2019-2021 in colors. I just love it. It's a beautiful dark blue-green. So it's real easy to glue these on because they fit so closely to the edge. The next one we're going to glue on is the other piece that we stamped with the vine stamp. We're just going to glue that right on. I love multi-purpose glue because you can always move it a little bit. I really like that. And so I see I need to move it up a bit. And then our final one is this pretty, I just love this one too. I love the colors, and the flax is on the back. So certainly you could use either side. And I'm giving you the measurements so you can use even a completely different designer series paper to put on there and figure it out for yourself and make it different. In fact, I have another sample that I'm going to show you right after we make this with a different designer series paper. And it really looks different. Okay, so there's actually our card, right? It's all made right there, and now we just need to decorate it. So for the decoration, I have a piece of Rococo Rose cardstock. It's another one of the in colors, and I'm flagging the ends. I'll just tell you what I'm doing. I'm zipping ahead of my mouth here. I'm flagging the end of this little tiny strip. Let me check your measurements for you. It is, let me just see, 2 and 5, no, that can't be right. I'll get the measurement for you down below. I think it's 5/8. I'm pretty sure it's 5/8 of an inch by 4 1/4. I remember that. And I flagged the end. Oh, and I wanted to tell you it was embossed with a beautiful new ornate floral embossing folder. Can you see that? Isn't that pretty? I just wanted to give it a little bit of, you know, something. And so this little strip just adds a little decor, and it has to be thin because, as you can see, the panel that closes over it is also very thin. So we have to be careful not to have it go over into this area because it would show from the front of the card, right? So that's that piece, that panel. Now for this one, what we're going to do is I've already cut with my die cutting machine a stitched oval from the stitched shaped oval die set. And I'm going to stamp this using terracotta tile ink and this word friend, the friend stamp that I told you I really liked. Normally I stamp first and then I cut with the die cut, but for this time, just for speed, I want to do it this way. Okay, there's our friend sentiment. That's the only sentiment I put in here. I'm going to have a little cough. Excuse me, it's very dry here. Today in San Diego County, it's in the 90s outside, and we have our air conditioner on, and sometimes it makes it so dry. Okay, so for the friend sentiment, we've cut it with the oval die, and we're just going to put this in the center here. I think it looks really nice. And that terracotta tile color is the same color as this background piece of Designer Series paper. Now, of course, we have to have a piece to write on, correct? When we open our card, we need to have a piece to write on. So I have cut a rectangle with these Stitch So Sweetly dies. I love them, and they have, by Stampin' Up, they have different size scallop stitch rectangles. And so I cut one that will fit right in there when it's when the card is closed, but yet it gives us an area to write on to our friend. And we're going to stamp it. One of the stamps in this Botanical Bliss stamp set is a really pretty rose, kind of like a rose silhouette. And I'm going to use, again, the Pretty Peacock ink, and I'm just going to turn that rose a little bit and stamp it. Isn't that just, I just think that's so sweet. I haven't made an envelope for this card yet, but I think I will probably stamp this on the envelope because it's just so pretty. And I'm going to put it in here now because I used a Stampin' Dimensional over here under the friend card. I'm just going to do this one flat with multi-purpose glue because it is a card that I do want to send, and I don't want to get it too bulky. I don't know if you know, but if your package or card is over 1/4 of an inch thick, they have to charge you more. So I try to make sure to keep my envelopes under 1/4 of an inch thick. Okay, there's the card, all made. What do you think? Wasn't that quick and easy? The biggest thing is just figuring out the folds and the measurements, which I've done for you. And remember, I'm not using any roses this time. We're trying out a little different method. Just not using roses, making it a little less flowery. So now we need to do our belly band. And for the belly band, we're going back to our Pretty Peacock ink and our Pretty Vine stamp that I like so much. So we're just going to ink that up, and actually we're going to just stamp this belly band in the center with the vine stamp all the way down. I just love it. It's, you know, some stamps are really easy to stamp, and this is a stamp that is just easy, and it comes out so pretty. You can do a little overlapping if you want to. I just think it's so pretty. And now we're just going to get the lower portion there. Okay. Whoops. Okay. I didn't press hard enough right there, but you know, that's fine. I'll put that on the back and hopefully nobody will see it. And so this is our belly band, and we're ready to, I want to make sure it dries real quickly because I don't want it to smear. Sometimes I blow on it. Now, I could give you measurements for where you would fold your belly band around the card, but you know what I prefer to do, because if I give you measurements, sometimes it can be off because it needs a little bit of space for the thickness of the fold here. So what I personally like to do is I just like to put my own belly band on, and then I just fold it myself right around my card, just like that. And it always turns out well. I don't really have any problem. And then when we go to the back, we see that it's a little bit too long, and you can see those little places where I didn't press hard enough are on the back, and I'm going to even trim off. You have to trim a little. And then all we're going to do is adhere this. We're going to slide it off and press those little folds a little better. And then I'm going to use some tear and tape here to put our flap over. In fact, I'm going to put the the little shorter flap over, and you're not even going to see anything where I didn't press hard enough on that one stamp. We can always solve things, can't we? Okay, so I'm going to put a little tear and tape on each side like this. I like tear and tape. It holds very securely, and that way you know that nothing is going to happen with your band. Your band is not going to come undone. And what I like to do is really, like I said, if I remembered my bone folder, I would have been using it, but I press that tear and tape down so that it really sticks, and then it makes it a little bit easier to get your little top, whatever they call that, a little cover off to expose the adhesive. So we'll get that adhesive exposed there on both sides. There we go. And I see that one was a little bit over, so I'll tuck it in. And then I'm just going to press it over and adhere it. And there's our belly band. Easy peasy, right? How did that stick? Uh-oh. Somehow it's stuck down there. Oh, I guess I had it. That's not good. Oh, that's bad. I had a little too much there. Bad me. Well, again, one reason I do this with you is so that you can see how to make up for mistakes. And so I see that I've got adhesive and there's no, it didn't overlap far enough. So I'm just going to put in a little piece of the belly band that I cut off, and it's all fixed. I hope you realize that I'm not perfect. I'm just showing you the best I know and different designs and fun that I've had, so you can totally see that today, right? All right, so now we're going to close our card up, and we're going to put our belly band on. I don't know why, but I like to put it on from the bottom and curl that part in a little bit and slide that on. And now our final thing that I thought made the card really cute is we're going to put on a little bow. And I just love this reversible ribbon. It has Old Olive on one side and Pretty Peacock on the other. And I'm going to just tie a tiny little bow, and we're going to see how that comes out. And remember, we have to, we have to play with our bow for a few minutes before we get it just the way we want it to be. And the trick here is to make sure that I get the Pretty Peacock side of the reversible ribbon showing. And let me see if I'm doing that. I may not be. Let's check. Okay, there it is. There's the Pretty Peacock side. And then you have to flip it over a little bit when you tuck in here. And that should come out right. Let's see. Yes, we're coming out correctly. And we just manipulate it a little bit. And just keep on pulling and you know, making it come out just the way you want to. I pull down these little, the little ties. I think that's not too bad. And then I'm just gonna cut it off a bit. Cut off these little ends. And all I'm gonna do is adhere my bow with some glue dots. It'll stick just fine with a few little glue dots. And actually what I'm gonna do is put my glue dots on the belly band itself, because then I know that's where I want my bow to go. So there are my glue dots. I'm gonna press my little bow on there. And our card is done. Now I'm seeing this little end might look a little bit longer. It's not quite as angled, so I'm gonna fix that. And there we are. What do you think? Isn't that, I don't know. Let me see, let's get back the floral one and see what you think about that. If you like the flowers better, but this shows you that you can do it either way, with the flowers or without, and basically it just gives you, you have the pattern of how to do the trifold. It's really a trifold fancy fold card. Now I want to show you another one that I did that out of a different designer series paper. This one I did out of the beautiful poppy paper. I don't have the exact name, but I'll put it down there for you. The like Poppy Parade, no, that's a color. The poppy, this is what I do if I don't write it down right. So this is the beautiful Poppy Designer Series paper. And I just made this one a little bit fancier. I love this paper and I wanted to use it. So this one folds out like that. I used also retiring the Flourish Thinlits dies and the beautiful Promenade stamp set. And the paper is retiring. So everything on this card is retiring. And I did 2 flowers there and cut them out and overlapped them. What do you think of this card? I'd like to see you leave me a couple comments below and let me know which card you like best. Here they are. Here are the 3 cards that we've made. The one we've made and the other 2 samples. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you like it, I would love for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel and also to order any of these things. Get them while you can because they are retiring these products. And there's a link right there to my online shop. Thank you so much for watching today and come back. Bye-bye.